Hello,
Hello, hello.
hello.
Hi,
What?
Jeannie. Ah!
Here we are.
I'm so happy you're here with us. Hi, everybody. I'm Heidi. I'm a board member with United Latinas, and I get to be here. I feel like I'm with a celebrity. I'm here with Jeannie, a United Latinas member, and then some. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm super, super excited to be here, to be doing this with you, one of my close, good friends that I love hanging out with. So, this is going to be a great conversation. I cannot wait. I needed this. I don't have coffee, but I have my water that I drink all day long. So, I cannot wait to see what we get into and all the stuff that we can talk about today. So, I'm super excited.
Me too. I'm excited too. So, first up, let's kind of pretend as if nobody knows you, which is impossible. But if you could introduce yourself, your full name, loud and proud, where are you from and where do you live right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that compliment. I do not feel like a celebrity, but I appreciate it. But my name is Jeannie Marmol. I live in Miami. I'm a transplant from New York. It's going to be almost 5 years. I did the whole COVID thing.
Wow.
And I currently am in Miami. I currently, I'm the CEO and founder of Millionaire Latina, which is a financial coaching firm. I'm also the author of The Five Pillars to Redefining Your Wealth, which came out about 2 weeks ago for Hispanic Heritage Month. I also own a med spa, which is focused on IV therapy. I used to be a banking executive for 20 years at JP Morgan. I mean, there's so many stories I can tell you, but I'm here today, super excited. I know we're going to talk about all kinds of different things. Money, money, money being the primary focus, right? Because money is all around us. It's what allows us to do things or not do things. So we're going to talk a lot about that. But yeah, and I'm Dominican, a proud Dominican that I know. So is happy to be here.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy you're here. What an introduction. It was like and when I got my book and I have this business and all the ands, ladies, right? So a perfect example of replacing or with and. There is so much to talk about, and this is feeling like the South Florida show because I'm here in South Florida too, like Jeannie. um I don't feel like I'm a transplant because I was born here, but raised in between the Bronx and Miami. But I did the whole COVID move too. It's
Mhm.
interesting. In one way, I'm like, yeah, New York, New York, but the first chance I was able to leave, I did.
Mala.
I know, it's so bad, it's so bad. Oh, but I would love to really talk about everything you kind of mentioned. Like, if I think we could start with the book if you want, talk about it, the why, what made you take kind of your expertise and experience and write your book. Maybe we can talk a little bit of about Millionaire Latina and how the ladies and gentlemen that are listening could join, right? And,
Yeah.
join Millionaire Latina. And then even talk about your other venture with the IV spa, especially for those living down here in South Florida. Does that sound all
Yeah.
right to
Yeah.
kind of
No, no, you have the agenda right on.
okay, so
Okay, so let's start. Your first question was around the Millionaire Latina, specifically the book, Five Pillars to Redefining Your Wealth.
yes.
You can get this on Amazon. You can download it for Kindle. You can get it paperback, whatever you want. But what's really important about this book and what I want everyone to know, it's not a book that you read like every other book. Oh, okay, I have to fix my finances. Okay, I should look into investing, right? Like each chapter really walks you through some of the things that you need to think about. Then it
Mhm,
gives you activities, it gives you exercise to do, it
mhm,
gives you follow-ups, it gives you journaling. Like it's really a book where you get to take with you. You should be using it. Like I know you're really using this book when it's looking all like it's been used touch and it's turned different pages, right? Because it's really a kind of a workbook guidance
mhm,
of redefining what it means, one, to be a millionaire,
mhm.
especially for us as Latinas, and two, how do I get there? So I think it's really important to understand that I don't have all the answers, and I didn't have all the answers. This book came out of several reasons. It came out of my 20 years of experience working for one of the biggest banks in the US,
Yep.
right? And seeing people with a lot of money, how did they make that happen? It
Mhm.
came out of my struggle as a Latina,
Mhm.
growing up, and extremely humble. You can read more about it in the book. As a child, the first couple of years were really rough. When we got here from Dominican Republic, I was like 5 years old, and my mom, and she was super young, only a young woman of 20. She had me very, very young. So kind of knowing all those details and like, okay, how do you overcome that? And I'm sorry, you can tell my business, right?
That's kind keep
They took care of it. Okay,
you have
perfect.
to get
Yeah,
that. Like,
they took care of it. It's
okay.
perfect. So it came out of me growing up in New York, not having much resources. So a lot of us can identify that. Having a mom who is my hero, and I talk about that here, but also not having any resources, not having the knowledge of what it means to grow money, protect your money, and all those different pieces. So all that throughout the last, and I won't say how old I am, but I'm way older than probably what I look, came out to be my, and then my experience in the bank and getting an MBA in finance and all that all came together to do this. And look, I didn't know I was writing a book. I didn't know what the book was going to be called. I didn't know what the book was going to be focused on. And throughout the last couple of years, it kind of all came to me and come together. Like when I was growing up, and I don't know about you, there weren't many Latinas that looked like me that had money.
Zero. That's a zero, not a heart.
Okay.
Mhm.
Zero, and that could guide me. And I'm not talking about someone that inherited a business or whose parents, and God bless, if you were in one of those, who were doctors and lawyer, and they ended up having a pretty good like foundation and legacy to follow. I'm talking about people like had nothing and they didn't even understand. And I wanted to read a story and find a story of someone that had very limited resources or none. And how do you change that around?
Mm.
Right? So the book talks about the beginning, my story, then it talks about mindset because being a millionaire today in 2025 is very different. And what that means for me could be very different for you. Like, what does that mean for you, Heidi? What does being a millionaire mean to you?
For me, that's being
Tell
able
me.
to have the freedom to do whatever I want. That's what that means to me.
Right. And absolutely. So for a lot of people, it's having the freedom to do whatever you want. I met and coach people is being debt free. That to them was the biggest thing. Being debt free. To another person was buying their first home.
Mm.
Like it means so many different things. And it doesn't mean, and it could mean the dollars as well. It could
Right.
mean that you want that $5 million house on Miami Beach. That's fine,
Mm.
right? But it also can mean a bunch of things. I have coached people that it meant to them like being able to stay at home with their kids. How did they
Mm.
make that happen while their kids are young? Right? So redefining what a millionaire Latina millionaire means to you is the second piece, right? And now that you know what that means and what you really want, okay, how do I get there? So there's five
Yes.
pillars to this. Number one is the basics. And again, it's mind shattering that today, even today in 2025, in most schools, high schools, colleges, they don't teach you basic money, but you
Well,
live or die by the basics of money. Like still today, right?
mhm.
So, how do you manage a checking account? What does
Yep.
credit mean? What does investing mean? What does a
Mhm.
401k mean? How do you save up for an emergency? If you have a house or gonna now live on your own, what does that mean? How do you budget? All those things, like you need to know that I feel like we should have been taught since little, and
Yeah.
it should be
And
taught
women.
today
I
in
wasn't.
schools.
Yeah.
See? Okay, so you can't get it from home because your parents are limited as well. Then it should be the school. It's just the same way they teach you algebra and biology. They should be teaching you basic money, matter things.
Yes.
So
Basic
the
money
first,
principles, right? Basic money
correct.
principles. Yeah, I
Yes, of
agree.
course.
I agree.
So, for those people, chapter one, pillar one talks about that. What some of the things that you should know, some of the things you should look at. It gives you resources. There's a bunch of freebies that I offer if you go to my stand store on my Instagram, budgets and stuff like that, and you can download. So that's pillar one. You ready?
Mm.
So you got it, right? Pillar one is basic. Pillar two is making money.
Mm.
Probably my favorite pillar, probably most people, everybody's favorite pillar.
That's mine too.
Ching ching, right?
Right?
So we are in 2025, a different world. There's so many ways for you to make money,
Yeah.
right? And you have active income, which is something with like a W-2 and somewhere that you have to show up all the time and be actively there. And then you have passive income, which could be anything from investments to owning real estate to creating an online course that now you're selling. There's so many different ways. But the number one key about pillar two, and this I learned, right, is you have to have more than one source, period.
Yes.
In
Yes.
today's environment, you have to have more than one source of where income comes from, right? And
Jeannie?
that's how you relieve some of that stress. Tell me, my love.
Yes, I was just gonna say it was recently, right? So let me back up. I've never had one job at one time. Like that. That's what I
I
meant to
love
say,
that.
you know? And I think being comfortable, it makes me nervous, you know? So I didn't mean
No,
to.
I love that, right? And I'm not asking you, and trust me, I'm a workaholic. I get it. To work 90 hours a week, which I have done, which I did in my executive life,
Mm,
right? But you can still have multiple sources in different ways because not all of them have to be active.
right.
And what's nice about moving multiple sources is that when one goes down, the other one is hopefully sustaining you up,
Yep.
right? And there's a lot of activities on making money on, investing. What does a portfolio mean? What does simple things that, you're like, oh my God, I make it very simple for you to follow and understand so that it makes sense. And again, giving you different ideas of, hey, but Jeannie, I only have one source right now. Okay, and if you look at your budget, that's not going to be helpful, right? If we really want to have financial freedom, we have to have more. What else can we come up with?
Yeah.
And people have amazing stories of stuff they have come out from that they're doing from their home that now has changed their lives,
Yes. Yes.
right? And technology and AI and the way that we can maneuver different things today allows the opportunity more than ever in society to do that today.
Yes. I would agree.
So did you know that Latinas only earn 58 cents per dollar compared to any of the other counterparts?
Yes, I did know that. Yes.
You know you're going to lose over $2 million in your lifetime because of that.
That I did not know, but
2
that hits
million.
different. That hits
That
different.
hits different.
That
$2
hits
million.
different.
Except if you can make your net worth this thing higher and actually learn how to figure out how to make that 58 99 cents a dollar.
Mm.
So that's pillar two. Pillar three is protection. Let me ask you a question, Heidi. Do you have car insurance?
Am I interviewing you or are you interviewing me?
I'm
Yes,
just
I have
trying
car insurance. Yes, I do. I
to.
have to.
Okay,
Now
you
here in
do.
Florida, shit. I have to have
Shit.
the
Okay.
every
Okay. And it's something you pay for every month. You don't think about it twice. You just know it has to get done, right?
yes. Yes.
So why wouldn't you have things like life insurance? You're gonna
Yeah.
die. And I don't mean that in a cruel way. It's just reality of life.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
why do people do not have stuff to protect the most important piece of this puzzle? It's
Yeah.
me. It's
Yeah.
you and yourself. So why wouldn't you have, payroll protection, disability insurance? Why wouldn't you have life insurance? Why wouldn't you have, there's all these ways to protect your money. Why don't you make sure you do a will? Why wouldn't you make sure that you do trusts?
Yeah.
Right? And what all that means and how critical it is, that's what pillar three is about.
Mm.
Okay. And then four is execution, pillar four, right? So we can talk about this all day long and you can be all excited and I'm going to
Right.
do it. Oh my God, Jeannie, I learned stuff and this sounds amazing. Okay.
And then
So how
nothing.
you executing,
Right.
right? If you're not executing, then at the end of the day, we didn't do anything.
Yes.
I prefer you to pick one thing from this entire book and say, "Oh my God, my deck got better because I did this," and
Mm,
execute.
yes.
And then pivot if you have to. So that's the other thing. Oh, I started doing this, do this a month into it, 2 months into it. It's like going to the gym, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's not working, so forget it.
You got me thinking. Like you're talking, and I'm like, shh, oh, like like you're like, do you have
Execute.
it? Like I know you're talking. It's and I'm like I went
Ah.
like this to like I don't know, like I'm going, like I'm getting like
Mm-hmm.
checked here, but
Yeah. So you
that's
gotta execute. You gotta execute, and you have to pivot. If
yes.
you execute a plan and it's perfect, something's wrong
Mm,
because that's not the reality of life. We talked
mm,
about earlier before we got on the podcast. How's life?
yeah.
Life is happening.
Life
Life
is
is not gonna wait
life.
for you.
No.
Okay, life is gonna continue to happen. You're not here today. You don't have a job tomorrow. They have somebody else.
Yeah.
So when I talk to people, oh, I'm executing. It's been going perfect. Then I know that's not true
Mm,
because a true execution has pivots because you are learning, you are changing, you're modifying, you're doing different things that really allow you to realize, okay, this is working or this is not working, or I can make it faster, I can make it better,
mm,
right? And last but not least is legacy.
mm,
Legacy is really special to me, I guess, because when people think of legacy, they think, oh, when I pass.
mm.
Legacy is not when you pass. Legacy is about today and who you are today,
Yes, I like that.
right? My legacy is me teaching my daughter how to be financially savvy. That's not happening the day I pass, it's happening today
Yeah. In real time.
in
Yes.
real time,
Yes.
right? Legacy is me living my truth and saying, hey, I'm not perfect. And mind you guys, I read my book and look over it all the time because I'm like, damn, I said that right. I should really like talk the walk. Right? Because it's scary and it's not easy. Trust me, I am a business owner, and that's a whole other conversation. It is a tough road and not for everybody.
It is tough. I'm experiencing it. Um, and there are days I want to cry. There are days I have to hype myself up.
Yeah.
There are days I'm like, what was I thinking? Right? Yeah.
What was
Yes.
I thinking? Yeah. Yeah.
So you're right. It's not for
It's
everybody.
quite a roller coaster of emotion on a daily
Yes.
basis, and it's not for everybody.
Yes, I would agree.
Right? So, hey, oh, I get a lot of people say, oh, I should open a business, should open a business. Maybe, or maybe not. And that's okay too, because
Yes.
it is not for everybody. Okay.
Yes.
So legacy is about doing it today. It is preparing for what's going to happen either
Mm,
today, 10 years from now, 100 years from now. It doesn't matter when you decide to go, when it's time for you to go, but your legacy is built today. So those are the 5 pillars. I know I talked a lot because I'm very passionate about this. Again, I will highly recommend it that you download it, get it. I'm going to have an event. So you are in Miami on November 13th. We're going to have an event about just talk about money and the book here at the store. So I own a IV therapy location. Yes, my IV spot in Miami
amazing.
at River Landing Mall. So if you guys know where that is, if not, text me and I'll let you know where that is. Come visit, come hang out. We can talk more about business and being
Yeah.
an entrepreneur and how to pivot at this age, second, third career. I don't know what this one
Mm,
is now.
yes.
And how, the things that you have to prepare for. I think I'm going to do another one about entrepreneurship and business
Yes.
eventually.
I'm gonna say yes all day when it comes to books. Yes.
um,
Yes and
but
yes.
yeah, it's definitely a different experience. Um, it is very freeing, but it can also be very scary. And you just have to be prepared and have the right people with you, right? And have the right team and the right information to do it the best that you can because it is going to be tough and it'll
Yes.
be very, very scary days.
So at the end of our Cafecito, we're gonna put all the links so you can find out about Jeannie's event. That's November 13th, you said, in Miami. The link for the book, where to buy the book, and then you're still coaching, right? You're
I'm
still
still coaching. So
okay.
my financial coaching firm, which is the Millionaire Latina, I'm still coaching. I do coachings for families, for couples, for individuals on the business side and individual side. And what we do is that we sit and we talk about, what does it, financial freedom mean to you? What are your goals? What are you trying to get to? Where are you today? What is stopping you? Right?
Mhm.
And then we have very hard conversations. I may say to you, look, we review your budget and you're spending $800 shopping every month, but you're telling me you want to be, debt free. How does that make any sense? Right. And it's great to have that because if you think of anyone that is a great athlete, anyone that authors, I mean, everybody has a coach. Nobody gets to it on its own. Athletes train every day and they have someone there pushing them on and saying to them, you're doing this right and you're doing this wrong. Authors, I have my publisher reread the manual over and over and tell me, what the hell is this? What is that? We got to switch this. This isn't clear enough. Like pushing me, right? To
Yes.
get the best version out of myself. In
Yes.
entrepreneurship, you need the same thing. So that's what I do for folks. And I'm happy. I am taking new clients, about 4 or 5, not because I like to be very personal. We meet once a month, twice a month, and we really help you really kind of plan it all out. I have clients that have been with me for years.
Nice.
They don't need to be with me, but it tells them that they have to come once a month because it keeps them focused and on track.
Yes.
Because I'm not your sister, I'm not your cousin, I am your coach. And
Yes.
I can tell you, I need you to do X. I'm gonna text you and say, uh, why haven't you done Y? You're supposed to send
Mm.
it this week, right? That accountability
I
and
was
that
just gonna say
focus.
the accountability partner. That's and yeah.
Yep. That, if you went to your cousin, if you went to your sister, it would be hard. They
Yeah.
know you. And then they're gonna tell your mom. So financial coaching is one of my passions. Again, it all stems from my experience, and because when I was growing up, I didn't see it. I didn't find anyone like me,
Yep.
and I wish I had it.
Related to that, I didn't know about coaching, in business until probably like my late 30s. I was like, "Oh, what is this? Oh, you pay somebody to help you get better?" Like it didn't even was a thing in my space, and I don't think that's encouraged, right? At least
It's not encouraged. I don't think that it's talked about enough. I think anything
no.
around money in our communities is not
Yes,
talked about enough
I agree.
because there's a big shame of it, right? And then the coaching, either as business or personal, and a lot of it intertwines, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Like, yes, these folks out there that have done well, that do well, they had mentorship, they had coaching. I mean, they didn't just do this on their own. And yes, a lot of it is on your own, and there's a lot of trial and error. But now, from my experience and what I know, I said to you, do you know that, hey, your credit score is really critical, and this is how you build business credit? And
Mm,
now that allows you to get funds and get money and apply for this loan and look into this. And that if you open a business, the day you open that business with Sunbiz, that's the day it starts to run for that 2-year period where you get an SBA loan. I mean, crap, like,
mm. I didn't know that.
nobody,
See?
see, nobody, who's telling me that? Oh, so I didn't have to wait until my brick and mortar had the old doors open so that, no, it starts running the day you open that up on Zenbis, even if it was 8 months before. Like
Really?
things, knowledge, information that we do not share
Yes. Ooh, I didn't
or
know that.
talk about because we don't know who to ask, or maybe because
Yes.
we're afraid or ashamed.
You know, for me as a new entrepreneur, I don't always know what to ask. You know what I mean? And I try to do as much research on my own as I can. But then when I'm doing the research, I'm like, but is this true? You know, is this is this really, is it really what it is? But I will say I'm not naming names. some organizations I've reached out to locally here in South Florida, they say all these things that they do, but then once you reach out to them and start asking the questions, no, that's really not the case. So I think I've been a little hesitant to, I don't know who to reach out to. I'm not sure the questions to ask.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's again, that's where the coaching comes in, the financial guidance, the financial mentoring, because it's individual, right? But it's also entrepreneurs, and that kind of comes together.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough that, again, because of my experience, I can do both. I help people with both. And it really makes a massive difference. Look, I had a young lady who is a lawyer in HR in her company for many, many years. And, I started coaching her about a year and a half ago. And like 2 or 3 sessions in her coaching, she goes, I would really love to do this on my own. I said, okay. What do we have to do? If that's what you really want, what do we have to do to get ready for that? If it was up to her, she would have quit the next day and right. But that is not smart, right? We got to do it in the right way. We came up with a plan. She resigned 3 months later. She had already a plan of how she was going to execute and start getting home clients, which we had started working before she resigned. And the woman is incredible. She made more money in the last year than she ever did as a lawyer with them,
Wow. Yes. That's a success story, right? From working with.
right? And again, it's because she was smart enough and focused enough to say, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this, but I need guidance in doing this.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even me now. So again, I'm not perfect. So we have this IV clinic. We have learned so much. It's almost a year and a half old now.
Wow.
So many things.
Yes, I'm thinking that event that I went to when you were the the GG event.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that wasn't last year. That was the year before. Wow.
Girl, and I have learned so
Congratulations.
much. And I'm still learning. And like I said, entrepreneurship is not for the faint at heart.
Yeah.
Um, But like the stuff I have learned, I implement, but I didn't learn it on my own.
Yeah.
We have someone in this field that has been doing this for a long time, that has been guiding us and telling us. And when we call him and say, "Oh my God, are we totally off track?" He goes, "No, try this." Right?
Mm.
And again, and sometimes I don't even know what the questions are. I just say to
Right.
him, his name is Joe, and since a million people's name is Joe, I'll just say Joe. Um, sometimes I don't know what questions are. I just say, "This is the dilemma. Help me
Mm.
talk through it." And
Yeah.
he'll say, "Hey, have you considered this? We got to look at this. Let's add this. Let's remove this." Like there's a lot of. That's why I said it's a lot of pivot. You're really executing. You're really pivoting because
Yes.
there's no such thing as a perfect, plan. And again, so I'm getting coaching from him.
Yeah.
So my point, Heidi, is everyone needs coaching.
Everybody needs
You
a
want
coach.
you want to excel and be really good at something, you need a coach.
We need a coach. So we can you believe we have 2 minutes left? So with I
I
know.
told you I can talk a lot.
No, this was great. What I want it like what I would love to ask you with the less than 2 minutes we have, what is it like? What's the one or two things you want people to know? Whether how to reach you, whether it's advice, like what do you want to share as
Look,
we
you
wrap
can
up?
reach my name, Jeannie Marmol. You Google it, I come out in like 50 million things. I am super easy to reach. You can
Yeah.
go on my LinkedIn. You can go on my IG. I try to make it very simple. It's exactly the way my name is. So that way you're not looking for something funny. And my stand store is a bunch of freebies. So if hey, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, go into at least the stand store under my IG and download a bunch of free stuff that I created for folks there.
Nice.
My last piece of advice, and what I'm going to say is, hey, you do not have to let your circumstances define your future, period.
Mhm.
I grew up extremely humble beginnings. That's a story for another day. And I could have simply stayed there and said, this is just the pen or the luck that I was giving, and it is what it is.
Mm.
I refused to be a victim. and I decided to make and change my own destiny,
Mm,
right, in future. Right now, things may not be great for you. I don't know who I'm talking to out there, but it does not mean that has to be your future or your it has to be this way for the next 8 years or 5 years. It can change. Anything can change. It has to do with mindset. It has to do with finding the right people and to guide you, right? Having a really good set of people that you can trust and hug, and I call them boardroom, right? People in your boardroom,
mm,
right? And anything is possible.
mm.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Jeannie, thank you so much for sharing about your book, about your Millionaire Latina coaching, your IV spa, and your events. We're gonna put all the links in LinkedIn when we finish. Jeannie, thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me, guys.
Bye.
Bye.